X-Files. Keith, and today's ghost story takes us to the M6, where we continue reporting the UK's most haunted roads. Being stuck in traffic is never a fun thing, and most of us don't assume that these kind of hold-ups are generally caused by ghosts. Now, according to a gentleman who was on the M6 motorway, was witness to something that caused a bit of a stir, and the spirits that are said to hang out around the road might be responsible for the multiple accidents on the M6. Now, what happened is this gentleman was the bit of history with the M6. It was originally opened in 1958, and the M6 is currently the longest motorway in the UK, and it is around 230 miles in length, and it runs from Rugby right through to Birmingham, past Manchester, all the way up to Carlisle, and just the south of the Scottish border. It's also notorious for a number of awful car accidents that regularly occur on this stretch of road. Now, nobody knows what exactly causes them. There is said to be someone who has investigated some of these claims, and he became interested in the M6's issues for a few reasons. It was reported that multiple accidents have occurred with no explanation, and the reputation of the M6 for being haunted and one of the most accident black spots on any motorway network in the UK. And he had said that he personally knew people who'd sadly lost their lives and families who have been affected by these accidents on this stretch of motorway. And as a result of these many accidents, he began investigating these incidents that happened on the M6. And his theory about what might be behind them is connected, strangely enough, to Saxon involvement. There are reports of a Roman burial ground that there on the historic crash between the English and Scottish armies many years ago, and there is so many variable possibilities. He'd said that he acknowledged that there is no clear evidence to support this theory. He did, however, say that what is clear is that something is very wrong to cause these accidents, and it all intents purposes a fairly straight stretch of road. He said that he personally believes that there is something supernatural that is attached itself to this particular stretch of motorway, saying that science is at a complete loss to explain these accidents. Now, it's not clear whether the explanation involves drivers being distracted by alleged spirits and ghosts or something on the road, or whether the spirits might actually be the cause of these accidents. Whether they are entities built up over time, I do not know. And the man isn't wrong about the M6 being prone to collisions and crashes and accidents, as there have been so many reports over the last 70 years, the last 60 years on this stretch of motorway. Now, the most issues with this stretch on the M6 is between Cheshire Junction 16 and 20, which runs from the town of Crewe to the village of Lymm. When this investigation took place, there had been reported over 70 accidents on that stretch, and the Manchester Evening News had reported that there are very few explanations of what caused these accidents. Now, in 2015, there was heavy road work that began on the junctions 16 and 19 geared towards turning it into these stupid smart motorways, which has resulted in narrow lanes that might not be equipped to deal with the volume of traffic that flows along. Now, it's possible, as a lady observed and said into Manchester Evening newspaper, that the exit for junction 19 and the exit slip road to a service station are far too close together, and this congestion is what's caused by where the collisions are at worst. And it's said that the Roman burial site, or the slaughter of the Scottish Army, might be related to the M6 issues. Now, Britain was under Roman rule between 43 and 410 AD. It's also known that one of the greatest legacies from this period is the network of roads that the Romans built right through the country, many of which are still in use today. Furthermore, Scotland and England have a well-documented history of conflict, including lots of battles and wars that have been fought on both sides of the border. Now, there is no evidence to say that there is a Roman burial site on or near the junction between 19 and 20 of the M6, and the closest thing to a burial site is the chambered cairn known as the Bridestones, but that's Neolithic and not Roman. Now, let's see where I'm up to. Now, there was reports that a traffic officer on this stretch of roads that didn't want to make an official claim, and he'd said that when he's spoken to many of the victims in these awful car accidents, a lot of these victims have said that the driver had been distracted by ghostly visions. Now, not everybody wanted to give this as a formal explanation through fear of obviously ridicule, and also check to see if they're on the side of crazy. So there's so many documented cases, and a lot of these people who have been brave enough to come forward and explain what they saw. One gentleman said he witnessed what he thought was a reenactment of a battle between men dressed in like medieval armor and swords, and he witnessed, as he was driving along one evening, he witnessed what was like bonfires around the motorway, and with it being dark, it was, he said he just didn't know how to explain it, and he thought maybe he'd driven onto a stretch of road that on the M6 that had been closed through some film, you know, making a film or something, and he witnessed an actual battle between soldiers, and this caused the gentleman to slam on his brakes and screech to a halt. And when he come round, the ghosts, these people in battle, which he assumed were ghosts, had all disappeared. So he drove to the service station on that junction and went and got himself a coffee, and he'd made a phone call to his wife, and he was really shaken up. She was like, "What's the matter?" He said, "I can't say, I just don't want to talk about it." So she coaxed him, calmed him down and coaxed him, and he relayed the tale of what he'd seen. Now, it was only that some highway patrol policeman had overheard his conversation to his wife. So after he had his phone call, he said that the police came over to him and said, "What you witnessed has been reported multiple times, and you're not the first. It seems to be that there is an anniversary or something of some battle that happened many, many years ago, and it's exactly how you described it. So if any of you guys have got any explanation or any theories or have any witness or anything to do with the M6, please do get in touch, because I would like to continue this story. Anyway, for now, take care and see you all in the next video.